Happy Saturday, everyone, from here in Central Florida. It's in the low 80s today, partly cloudy. What a gorgeous day. I'm planning on spending the afternoon outside. I wanted to do a review and comparisons on the new Natasha Denona Love face palette. I played with this for the first time yesterday, and I had a lot of fun. This is right up my alley. Pinks and purples and neutrals are so much fun for me. And here is the inside of this palette. It has a cream blush, a powder highlighter. This is the same highlighter that was in the My Dream Cheek Trio that was released a few months ago. Here we have one matte blush. We have 3 creamy matte eyeshadow mattes, and this is a metallic rose, and it is so pretty on the eyes. So this is the look that I did today, more of a day look. As far as my lips, I really was just feeling the pink, so I used this shade of my Milani lipstick. This one is in Blossom, and this is another Milani lipstick. This one is in Voyeur. So I have these two on my lips along with an e.l.f. pencil. So let's go ahead and compare this Love palette to some of our other palettes. In my collection, I have the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. I love this color story. So beautiful. I also have the Natasha Denona Mini Crush palette. You can see I definitely have a type. Lastly, I wanted to compare this to the Natasha Denona Love palette. Right here. I really like this one too. So the one thing that these have in common, the Love palette and the Natasha Denona face palette, is that you can pop out the shades and exchange them. Not that I would want to. I think they're perfect the way that they are. And the Natasha Denona Love face palette is supposed to be an extension of the Love line. So there's the Glam line with the Glam face palettes, the Mini, the Baby, and the Midi palette. So now we have this Love line. So this is kind of where she's going with this whole vibe. First, let's go ahead and take the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. I'm going to compare this side by side for you so that you can see the color stories. If you can see that dark color in the middle, that's the one that I'm going to swatch to see if we have any similarities there. They both feel really, really creamy. I feel like these look identical to me. Completely identical. This top one is from the Love face palette, and this is from the Mini Love palette. This is the closest one that I've seen in all of the reviews that I've watched as well. So when I look at the rest of these shades, I don't see anything else that's similar. I certainly think that you could interchange these and work with all these colors together and get some even different looks, which I will be doing certainly in the coming months. So that's the only shade that I think is close here. Next, we're going to take a look again at the Mini Crush palette. Again, there is a dark color in the middle. I don't think it's as similar, but I'm going to swatch it next to the Mini Love palette. It is lighter. it is a little warmer and a little redder. So let's see if we see any other similarities here. Not really. I don't see anything else different. Again, I think these two could be worked together really well. I am going to, just for fun, swatch Giddy. The one on the end here. This is described as a rosy shade. I get on camera and my tongue does not talk right. And I'm going to compare it to this creamy matte right here. They are going to be different, but I just am having a really good time. Yes. So this is the Love Face palette, Mini Crush palette. Very different. I think that this would be pretty as a transition shade, and this is a deepening shade. So you could go from different palettes and just enjoy mixing and matching. Last, let's go to the Love palette. I just live for these color stories. Again, we have a super dark color that I'd like to compare to. So I already have the deepest color swatch for the Love palette. So I'm going to swatch two of these plummy shades here in the Love eyeshadow only palette. All right, we have some close ones. Up top here is the Love Face palette. These two right here are from the Love Midi eyeshadow palette. And I feel like this is just a tad bit darker. This is just a tad bit lighter, but I just feel like they're such a similar hue, such a similar tint, very similar. So let's see if we can find any others that are similar here. So I see in the bottom row of the Love eyeshadow palette that there's a light pink similar to the Love Face palette. So let's swatch these together. And this one right here. Okay. So the top shade right here is from the Love Face palette. The bottom shade is from the Love eyeshadow Midi palette. This one's warmer. This is a cool pink. I thought I saw a couple more that were worth comparing. Yes, there are. So if you look here at this rosy shade, and then you look on the bottom row, there are a couple of colors that I would like to compare from this palette and see how similar they are. So I have Giddy right here, so I'll add them right here. So let's go first with Soul from the Love Midi palette, and then we're going to go with Intense. All right, so you can see this one's much more muted, much more neutral. These are a little more intense, and they would be kind of darkening shades where this could be a transition shade. So very pretty. So that's all the similarities that I found in these three palettes that I wanted to compare. Again, this is like an entire umbrella, the Love collection. And so I just want to mix and match and play. But on the other hand, I wanted to just have some shimmery, glittery fun while we're at it. So I'm going to swatch the color Affinity, which is the rose metal, rose metallic, I guess is the correct way to say it. I'm going to swatch that right here. Yesterday when I was using my ring light, I felt like the detail of the makeup showed up, but I thought maybe natural light would be a good way to just play with some of these shimmers. This is very unique. I can't find anything even close to this in any of the other palettes, but I want to have fun. So the Mini Love palette is what we're going to swatch next. That is such a pretty shimmer. These are some of my favorite videos that my favorite content creators make, so I wanted to do those for you too. And we're also going to play with this shimmer here in the Mini Crush palette. Here we go. Oh, that has so much dimension. Do you guys see the color changes there? It goes from pinky to rosy to goldy. That's one of my very favorite Natasha Denona colors. So there's our mini palettes. Let's go to our Love palette. I have some very favorites in here that I want to swatch. Here, here, here. Particularly this middle shade right here. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, that's so pretty. This is just why makeup is so fun, isn't it? So this is from the Love Midi palette. It's the color right in the middle of the palette. It's called Pure Love. I'm gonna now swatch the one right next to that called Giving. Very soft and feminine color. Oh, so nice. And the last one I'm going to swatch for you all today is Passion, the bottom row of the Love Midi palette. Oh, I haven't used that one in a while. I forgot how pretty this one is. My swatches are terrible. This is my first swatch video I've ever done. Thank you for holding on. So this is from our brand new Love Face palette. And then we have the Mini Love, the Mini Crush, and then we have the Midi Love palette. So the only real spot on color that I found was that dark plummy shade. Besides that, I have not found any dupes at all in these three palettes. So technically, could you get a similar look? Oh yeah, you could. But it just comes down to how much you love Natasha Denona and how much you love collecting her palettes, and also how much you love pinks and purples and those kinds of shades. I'm personally really glad that I got this palette. I've had to wait a month since it was first released on the Look Fantastic site. I've been just waiting, and so Natasha posted on her website that it was up for pre-order. I figured I might have to wait for a while, but I just got it in probably 5 or 6 days, and I was so thrilled. So what are my plans now for my channel? I've been doing this now for a month. I have posted about 25 videos, and I have a lot of ideas and dreams. So I want to do a favorites. I've been testing makeup for January and February. I'm going to have to put the January in with the February because I didn't start my channel, so I'll be doing that. Also, I want to do a couple of more full face get ready with me's. Y'all seem to like that, and I sure enjoy it. Deep diving into an affordable brand and finding out what really stands out about those brands. So that's another thing that I want to do. And just continue to review products. I'm really excited because for many months I've wanted to get the Nude Prism palette from Lunar Beauty, and I've waited and waited, and I finally decided to go for it. So it should be here within the next couple of days. I'm excited to review that. It is a neutral palette with apparently some of the most beautiful shimmers out there. So I'm looking forward to trying that. And I think there's a couple of new releases coming up. So I'm having fun right now, and I'm just trying to grow my family and see what everybody likes out there. and just getting better at recording, better at my quality, just continually trying to improve. And so I'd really appreciate it if you like spending time with me, if you would like this video and subscribe so that you can join my little family that hopefully will be growing. And so I will look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. I hope this swatch and comparison was helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Saturday.